It should be clear to all Americans that we have a very serious left-wing terror threat in our country. Radicals associated with the domestic terror group Antifa that you've heard a lot about lately, and I've heard a lot about them for 10 years. And other far-left extremists have been carrying out a campaign of violence against ICE agents and other officials charged with enforcing federal law. In Chicago, anarchists have surveilled at least 4 local ICE facilities and posted diagrams of the buildings online, meaning nothing but bad.
This Hate America rally that they have coming up for October 18th, the Antifa crowd and the pro-Hamas crowd and the Marxists, they're all going to gather on the mall.
This is about one thing and one thing only: to score political points with the terrorist wing of their party.
President Trump told reporters the layoffs will be focused on Democrats.
And it'll be Democrat-oriented because we figure, they started this thing, so they should be Democrat-oriented. It'll be a lot.
With Antifa, destroy the entire organization from top to bottom.
I hate my opponent, and I don't want the best for them.
We're going to take them apart. Thanks to your bold leadership and the designation of Antifa as a terrorist organization, which is exactly what they are, Americans will no longer tolerate their unhinged violence.
Every day, the United States of America falls further into fascist authoritarianism. If you've been sitting on the sidelines, the world can no longer afford it. You have to stand up.
The Constitution's not running things anymore. Donald Trump is. So whenever I was told about this event of marching down from Philadelphia to deliver a copy of the Constitution to Congress, I said, count me in. 160 miles. 160 miles. It is 90 degrees towards the end of September, and all of us are still out here. Give yourself a round of applause for showing up.
Americans believe in the principle that no one, and I mean no one, should be disappeared by the state.
We cannot give an inch. You just walked on foot 160 miles to tell them not to give 1 inch. We are going to tell Congress to act.
So we just left the National Mall, separated into groups. We are actually in the Russell Senate building. I've done Cannon. Last time we did Rayburn. So when we saw Hakeem Jeffries, Marjorie Taylor Greene's office, Joaquin Castro. Right now we're in the Senate. Obviously, articles of impeachment can't start in the Senate, but senators can be very vocal. They have a massive bully pulpit. They can use it to start messaging for impeachment. So
we're going to go see good old Mitch McConnell, who is one of my least favorite politicians in the history of ever. However, we know that he hates Donald Trump, and we know that he's a lame duck, so who knows what his office has to tell us. It might be useful.
Here we go. You know how many things have passed in this body with unanimous consent? That means every single Democrat has allowed things to slip through that this administration does, from appointees to all kinds of things when they could have gummed up the works. So many people in this building are complicit. I just want to say things. I mean, a few things. I know Mitch McConnell has had a very long, storied career, right? He took a stand apparently in the second impeachment of Donald Trump where he said, I'm voting against it, primarily because of the timing, but that he could still be held criminally accountable for his crimes on January 6th. Criminally accountable. We all know how that worked out. Prosecutors waited too long. The courts dropped the ball, didn't uphold Section 3 of the 14th Amendment. We currently have an illegal president, the equivalent of basically a Confederate soldier taking the presidency after the Civil War. That's what we've got in Donald Trump. And I can't imagine, you know, I used to be on your side of the aisle. I was on the Trump campaign working for them in 2016. That is where I come from here. I come from a deep love of this country. I was misled into believing that he represented that movement. And now that I know what a threat and what a disgrace this administration is to our country and the world, I can't imagine living through this moment in silence. I can't even imagine how you as staffers or anybody in this building could not be speaking out or taking a stand. You know, in the trials in Nuremberg, how many people said, I was just doing my job. I was just doing my job. And he is instituting fascism a la Nazi Germany in the 30s right now. Mitch McConnell has nothing to lose. We know that not only Mitch McConnell, but so many of his colleagues on the Republican side live in fear. Maybe some of them live in fear of being blackmailed. Maybe some of them are so tethered to their privilege in this building, so tethered to their wealth and their access. You can't take any of that to the grave. It doesn't buy you happiness. But we are living in a pivotal moment right now where Mitch McConnell and every other person, and believe me, I have as much ire for the Democrats right now as I have for the Republicans who allowed this to pass on their watch without doing something, is going to be tied to the destruction of a 250-year journey through much sacrifice for freedom.
My name is Hugh. I wear many different hats here at the camp. Like what I'm doing right now, I lead congressional groups up to representatives' offices to talk with staffers about impeachment, releasing of the Epstein files. I lead protests over there at the Heritage Foundation as well to disrupt their workday, along with Fox News and any other Republican event that we can find around the city.
Right. How long have you been doing that?
Oh, Lord. Months and months, since May.
Nice.
It's been a long journey, and I am happy to continue it. I'm going to look right into the camera, right at the viewers. Sometimes we have groups of 2 or 3. Some days we have groups of as many as 24. But we're still making our rounds all the same, because this work that we're doing is more important than the amount of people that show up. Show up, though.
Right.
That is something that really makes an impact.
Right. So what you're saying is that it's pretty easy if anybody wanted to come out here and lobby their representative.
Absolutely. I am just a guy. I'm literally a student taking a gap year off from college. Anyone can do this work. And it can be a little bit intimidating at first because you're walking through the halls of power. But remember that power reigns through the hands of the people. And we pay their salaries. They have to listen to you. Don't get intimidated by them. Don't get intimidated by the amount of power they have. Go in there and talk about what matters to you. I want to stand up for my community, for my country, for all the marginalized people that are being affected by this regime. And I want to be able to say that I did something when I'm older against this tyranny that we are facing near every day now. I don't want to just be another couch potato sitting around twiddling my thumbs, much like many of the Democrats up there on the Hill. I want to do something, and this is it. We took a very visible stance here in the middle of one of the biggest transit hubs in the country, and every day people walk by and see what we stand for.
So this morning I wake up to this news, that the feds went to Union Station at the behest of the Trump regime and tore down the Flare camp, stole everything that they had, put it on the back of trucks and took it. Flare has been in D.C. since May 1st. 24/7 demonstration peacefully pushing for the impeachment and removal of Donald Trump. They have been the most effective group organizing protests, direct action, and taking citizens into the halls of Congress to lobby their representatives. We have been covering Flare since its inception, since before May 1st, when it was just an idea.
Yeah, it's pretty intense right now. We just saw Don Lemon put us on his live stream. All types of phone calls, all types of support pouring in, trying to get us back on track and handling this the right way. I wasn't here quite when it started, but I was here. I did get here while it was happening. My 2 volunteers, Jack and Tori, were overnight. The raid started at 5 a.m. They brought in some little crappy 2-pager that someone just printed up somewhere, not official at all. One of the reasons they stated was that the permittee, I think, implying myself assaulted a police officer by spitting on them, which I showed up with 25 cops here, including U.S. Marshals. Nobody arrested me. Nobody presented a warrant for me. Nobody said anything. None of the cops said anything to me when I got there. Supervisor kept actually actively avoiding me. It was like 30 workers and 25 cops just broke down, threw some things away, took some things for inventory. They claim it's all gone. They took every single thing. They gave the 2 people that were here minutes to grab whatever they could, and they stole the rest of it, which does not happen. That is not a normal thing to happen. 10 to 12 bullhorns, a really expensive electronic generator, all types of audio-visual equipment, mics, cameras, body cameras, radios, printers, a laptop, thousands of dollars of medical supplies. The art tent was full of art supplies, probably hundreds of dollars worth of art supplies. And this is just because we've been that effective. No 5 days to get into compliance, the day to pick up your stuff. Just, hey, we're here, get out.
Right, and did it in the cover of darkness in the very early morning.
Yep, when they knew only 2 people were going to be on. To America, and anybody who might be watching this, this is the dissent. The dissent into fascism. They silence dissent and they go after the most effective first. If you don't get up now, America will be ending. Get up, stand up. We're nonviolent, peaceful protest. No reason to shut us down other than we're making noise. So get out here and fight. Get out here and fight with us. It's not too late. It's not, get out here and fight. Stand up now.